The crew worldwide, from Cali to Twitter, real hardcore fans, boxing ass niggas, consistency cops, police the views, we'll pull up receipts for any debate you choose. Shout outs to Clan Archie for the dope production. Ring Gang stay with the best discussions. Ring Gang Radio.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Patscorpio, the New England representative. And as always, I got my man with me. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
What it do, man? Shutterworth, the Soul Wars, a.k.a. the GOAT artist.
Yes, sir. GOAT artist, Ring Gang in the building, as always. So, a couple topics of tonight. Of course, we will talk about the upcoming Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia card. That'll be this Saturday on Showtime pay-per-view. Or was it Fox pay-per-view? No, it's Fox pay-per-view, not Showtime pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before we get into that, let's do a quick recap of the card on Fox, headlined by Shawn Porter versus Yordenis Ugas. Before we get into that fight, LB, did you catch any of the undercard fights on that card?
I saw the Mansour fight, and I'm not saying he gave up. I'm just saying, like, he kind of
his body pretty much gave out.
Yeah, he just realized, like, oh shit, like, and Mansour, he don't back down from nobody, and he landed a good shot, but dude, pick it.
Yeah, he ate it like a Scooby snack,
he kept about his business, so after that, it's like it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, that fight pretty much went the way I mean, it didn't go.
You called it dead on, bro.
What's that?
I said you called it dead on, bro.
Yeah. Well, no, I actually thought Mansour would actually, get KO'd, but his corner stopped that before that actually happened. But Ajaba at least knocked him down a couple of times, including one knockdown that put him on through the ropes onto the apron.
Oh shit! Like, yeah, it was short and brutal.
Yeah, it basically. It was what That's unfortunately that's the way of boxing, man. Sometimes you gotta for older aging fighters, man. Sometimes that's how it goes, man. If they don't want to go on their own accord, and Mansour's like 46 years old, then you got to persuade them to go on.
He said he was in shape, and he was on point. He didn't look like he was out of it or nothing. He was moving. He had his wits about him. It's just the style. He was just outmatched by him. It's like, and it's not like we haven't seen him fight any big guys before. He was giving it to Dominic Brazil.
Yeah, he was. He definitely was. But like I said, though,
it's not just the size. It's the size and the skills, man.
Mm-hmm. And the power.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
and those things, it was just too much for Mansour, who also announced his retirement shortly after that fight too.
Oh, word! I didn't even know that.
Yeah, man. I don't blame him. He's 46 years old. I mean, he's not any closer to actually becoming heavyweight champion or getting a chance to the heavyweight shot. So,
right.
So you gotta respect that. I mean, of course, the Amir Mansour story is already crazy. I mean, he was a pro before, and he went to jail for about 17 years. He came out, and then, of course, made a run for it. Trying to make a decent run. He gave a couple of fighters good fights. Great fights.
He was always entertaining to this thing. You right?
Yeah, very entertaining. So, salute to Amir Mansour. And happy retirement.
I wish he would have got a Wilder fight when Wilder was, during that run.
Yeah, but I always thought that bullshit draw that he got with Gerald Washington, which fight I thought he won. I think everyone else thought he won.
Yeah.
I think that was the fight that I think hurt his momentum.
Fucked it up. Yeah.
You know,
that's like we never got that that Tito Mosley fight because of Winky.
Right.
It just some shit just destined not to be, but it's crazy. Maybe Gerald Washington was really meant to fight Wilder because he did, have a good showing for until it lasted.
Right, exactly.
So it's crazy, man. There's levels to this. Styles make fights, man. But yeah, congratulations on Mansoor of having, a pretty solid career, man. It is what it is.
Yeah. And then the other fight on that card, which was probably the best fight of the night, was Abel Ramos versus Francisco Santana.
Yes.
Yeah, that was.
It was going at it.
Yeah, that was actually a very good punch, and a very, very good fight. Abel Ramos, he got off the floor. I think it was in the second or third round, I believe. And then he came back and was able to win a majority of the rounds. I think one of the cards was dumb close, but the other ones were pretty wide, and I had no problem with those scores though. But yeah, at least with those two, it kept some relevancy. For at least for Ramos, because I think the last time, I think it's on a 6 or 7 win streak, since he lost to Jamal James, who was just recently on the Darrell Yildirim card. And then Santana, he got into this picture because he managed to upset Felix Diaz in his previous fight in that WBC welterweight tournament thing that was going on that Vander Holyfield was hosting. So, like I said, it was a fight where pretty much, the winner, might actually put himself in a shot, might actually get a look from a champion or a top contender. And then the loser, Santana, will probably have to rebuild. But it was a pretty damn good fight, and it was obviously a fight of the night to me. Easily. And then we have our main event. Shawn Porter, the WBC welterweight champion, versus Yordenis Ugas. Now, there was already some fuckery before the fight where Porter, and this is an issue that he's had for like this last 3 fights or so, was having, did not come in originally at the welterweight limit or was struggling to do that. And then, the fucker was to the point where he had to strip down to his skivvies and get an impromptu haircut to actually make the fucking weight. Now, I've never seen that shit before where they had to get on the scales and get his hair cut in order to fucking make weight. And that just tells me one thing, and I said it before, I said it over and over again, that Porter is not long for 154. Porter is going back to 154. There's no question about that, because Porter is not a guy that eats candy. If you ever seen videos of him working out, training, dude really puts in work on it. So it's not for lack of road work or whatever. There's no reason why he can't make this weight. It's just to the point I think he's getting older, and and this comes from a guy who debuted at 165. He debuted at super middle, and fought at like a good part of his career at 154 already. So before going down to 147 and getting the accolades in his career that he's gotten. So yeah, he's not long for 147, and then with the whole weight issue like that. This particular fight, you could tell. Porter pretty much deviated from his usual style of fighting. LB, what did you think of this?
I just feel like Porter, he's more wary of getting hit now. Like, I don't think he has that fire anymore, like, where he's really gonna go get it like how he used to. Like, he'll show little flashes of it, but not consistently to really bank rounds and win clearly. Like ever since the Thurman fight, like, whenever he's met with a little adversity, like a hard jab or somebody who's kind of gonna make it hard, he just Like he always had good movement and footwork, but now he's almost looking like how he did in the first Julio Diaz fight.
Yeah.
Like he showed glimpse of it. He showed it in the Granados fight too. But then I know he got an injury, so but damn, man, like he started doing it in the Danny Garcia fight too.
Well, no, I mean, I thought he dominated Danny enough to put where it didn't really show.
But yeah, I still thought he won that fight clearly though. Like, no, don't get me. It's like he did the movement in a way where he still got off his shots consistently. Like
right.
he had a great jab throughout that fight. Against Ugas, that really wasn't there. Like he tried to play, the outside game.
Right.
A lot of times.
Yeah, because he had the advantage of reach, so I think that's why he was like, okay, let me try something different instead of trying what he was usually been successful at doing, swarming people. And he spent half the fight. Him and Ugas spent half the fight staring at each other.
Yeah. And I really get it on you guys because I felt like the fight really was more like a draw, but I felt like you guys won. Like I think I had him 7-5, but it was some hard rounds to score, and you had swing rounds in the bout, and I blame you guys for being the challenger and not really
trying to take the belt away.
Yeah, like I'm not saying you can't, box on the back foot and whatnot or encounter, but you got to do it aggressively. Like I don't feel like, at times he would suck and jive and make faces and look at Porter while Porter's running around, moving around, and it's like, dude, you're not making an effort. Like if even if people would see you chase this nigga down, the judges would be like, well, he's coming forward and this other guy's running. All right, we'll give the round to you guys. But when you just looking at this dude and, like, well, come on, nigga, you gonna fight? Well, make him fight. Cut the fucking ring off. Like, it's like, do y'all niggas watch tape? Like, y'all seen Porter change from the Thurman fight? We're added this extra layer of movement to his game. Like, it ain't fucking new. Like, you seen it in the Granados fight. You seen it in the fucking Danny Garcia fight.
Yeah.
Exactly. The Berto fight, he ain't really have to do it like that in the Berto fight because Berto wasn't really fighting to be a threat like that.
Yeah, Berto was too struggle-filled by that particular time to be effective.
Yeah, besides a counter here or there, Berto didn't let his hands go nearly enough. So, Porter gonna walk him down and do what he do, but anybody else who let their hands go a decent amount, even Danny Garcia with his pinch a penny, boxing, looking for receipts for exchanges and shit. Even he let his hands go enough where Porter, and he hit hard where, Porter had to respect it some and still, mix in the footwork and outside boxing with the brawling and up close. But with you guys, he just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it effectively or consistently.
Or it didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I honestly got the vibe like I felt like he didn't want to do it. Like,
and then that type of a game plan, was the reason why, because you mentioned before, why there were so many swing rounds, and why you can make a case for Ugas winning, but you can also make a case for Porter winning, or you can make the fight a draw. I had Ugas winning by 2 as well. I had him 115-113. And what do you think about the blown knockdown in the final round? Do you think that was a legit knockdown or was that a slip?
I think it could have been either or, man, because it looked like Porter slipped. I know they was trying to show that it was wet in that corner, and the type of punch he got hit with, a back of the head clubbing type of pull you down shot, it didn't really look like it was a real punch. Like, we've seen worse knockdowns be actually called. Right. And then we've seen knockdowns that were, not as bad as that, missed. So it's It's hard, but the fight was so. It's just the way the fight went. It was so inconsequential. I don't even think it mattered. Like it wasn't even a knockdown that hurt anybody. It wasn't even a clean punch like that. Like I think it was the best bet for that shit to not even be called. Like the whole fight was just fucking meh.
Yeah, but the thing though is, had that knockdown counted, that probably would have turned that card into a draw.
Yeah, so think about that. Both of us now. Remember, I picked Shawn Porter to win a close ass fight, and that's what he did. But I don't feel like that's what I saw. I still had you guys winning 2 rounds, and that's without the fucking knockdown.
Right.
So imagine him getting the knockdown. He gets a draw, and it's like, damn, that should be like 8 rounds to 4 or whatever, or 7 to 5 with the big round. The extra point, yeah. But I don't know how they judge fights, man. But this fight, neither one of these niggas did themselves any favors. Like you guys,
right?
He should have let his hands go way more. I think Porter even ended up throwing more punches in this nigga.
Probably, and the thing is too, like you could tell the crowd. I mean, the crowd you could tell was thin out there because it didn't. I don't think it did too well, ticket sales wise or whatever.
Why the fuck was it in Cali? Like. That fight should have been in Cleveland, should have been anywhere in Ohio, because of Porter, or it should have been in South Florida.
Right. But for whatever reason, it's either California or Barclays for release cards. I don't understand it.
And this would have probably worked better on the at Barclays. But then it's like, why y'all niggas act like there's only like 3 fucking arenas in the damn country, like
it's annoying. Yeah, sometimes it does, it does takes the oomph out of a fight.
Cause it's like you guys, it's like me personally, I've never really been impressed with him, like with his boxing. Like he looked like he'll give you good highlights when he does something, but like for a whole fight, he's always lacking something where I'm just like, damn, nigga. And somehow, if only he would have turned it up more, he could have made the welterweight division get kind of.
Yeah, he could have shook the welterweight division.
Now I feel like, welterweight, they just hanging on to niggas. Like, okay, Broner's out of the picture. Thurman's like halfway in there because, he looked decent, but he almost got KO'd. So it's like, that's like, I mean, so that's hard to really gauge. It look like he need another fighter unless you just put him in there with Pacquiao.
Right.
Spence fighting Garcia, great fight. Okay, as far as name wise, and that could shake up the division depending on how that turns out. Swift Granados is a good fight, but I don't think that really shakes up the division. Somebody has to lose bad, really,
right,
to really make me springboard the winner into a bigger fight. So, Porter, you guys was like the perfect fight where something should have happened,
right. Even on paper, even on paper, like, okay, this should be a good fight, but yeah, it just failed, and it was a disappointing. I didn't even watch it live because of where I was at Turnstone that weekend, so I didn't watch it the day after, and I was just like, I wanted to turn the shit off by like the 6th round.
Facts. Oh my goodness, like that wasn't a good fight to watch live. Like that's one of those fights you'll see once and that's it. Like, and the thing is, I've seen worse fights, but I don't know, this fight just kind of irked me, man, just because it just looked like one nigga didn't want to fight and the other nigga didn't look like he wanted to fight bad enough.
Right.
And when you put those two together, you get some like, I'm good. Pass. Because Porter now is like, if I'm Porter or I'm his handlers, I'm trying to get this nigga to fight the winner of Spence, Mikey G. And if it's Spence, and whoever it is going to be a unification fight. try to make one more big fight and then take your ass up to 154, dog.
Right, before you actually go ahead and lose this belt on the scales. You know?
Yeah, just go ahead and cash out. Try to get that big fight. You know, if not, see if you can get the winner of Crawford or Khan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, now is definitely time for Porter to really make some careful moves. Very careful moves, so you can go to 154 and you can actually try to do something. But yeah, the Ugas fight obviously was a mandatory, and he nearly almost lost that. So so it's definitely time to start making the big fights now, or vacate the belt because you're having trouble making the weight. So, and then where does Ugas go from there, though?
Off my TV, nigga. Like, I don't know, man. I'm just good, bro. I'm good. Like, I don't know where he goes. Figure it out. There's guys in the division he could fight. PBC got mad welters. Like, I don't know. I mean, if y'all had them fighting, South Florida, y'all could build them up as an attraction somewhat, and and make bigger fights. But y'all don't even do that. So it's like, I don't know. And y'all make him an undercard dude, really.
Right.
I don't know who. Devin Alexander.
Yeah, I guess Victor Ortiz. There's probably a whole bunch of them, but you might want to put him on FS1 for a little bit, though.
Yeah, like you might hit the D leagues now. Like maybe John Mulaney. Both of y'all niggas won the fight that y'all should have. Y'all lost the fight y'all should have won.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where Ugas will probably go. That's where he should go, or we think he's gonna go. So yeah, enough about that card, because it was a depressing card to watch. We have an upcoming card.